welcome to our corner. We have our fire going. Only it was like 68 degrees today.
It's almost Thanksgiving. It should be cold. It's getting there. It's getting there.
The way this, what is it called? The global warming is starting. Snow doesn't come till like February now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
weird.
weird.
As long as we get a little bit for Christmas, I'll be okay.
We normally get some around like Christmas, New Year's, but it's never like a blizzard like it used to be when we were kids. But we are drinking our mugs from our mugs. Hello, pumpkin. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. I was with my family this past weekend. You were with your family this past weekend.
Yeah, getting in the holiday mood. It's all coming up. Starting to feel that way. And I'm getting a little bit excited about it.
Yeah.
So.
That being said, we are working on our, what are we calling this?
It's called the 10 till the end. So this is sort of our book nook part of our channel here today.
Hands look huge when they're like...
We've both been doing a lot of reading this year, which has been fantastic because I kind of forgot how much I loved to read. And then within the past like year and a half really, we've just been like going through them, like series or whatever. So I had set a goal for myself on Goodreads at the end of last year of 40 books. I am currently at 29 and like 70% through a couple of books, so I'm getting there. I'm counting those really towards it. So really I only need 8 till the end. But we are going to do a 10 to the end, basically showing you guys which books that we're trying to get in before the end of the year. No promises, but some of mine are lengthy. But we're going to try. And we've got a couple of them that we're going to try to do together, too, to make that fun. So
Christmas reads.
Yeah, Christmas reads. A lot of mine, actually, all of mine, except for 3, are Christmas reads, or I have a couple of like short novella audiobooks that were like Thanksgiving themed that I was going to try to listen to too, but actual physical copies of books, most of mine are going to be Christmas reads. So.
I think unless I'm traveling, where when we were on the plane and we were listening to the books, or if I need something to listen to as I am driving, to stay my brain motivated. I'm more of a podcast person when it comes to that. But when I listen to audiobooks and I'm laying in bed or I have to be doing something or I'm going to fall asleep. I love falling asleep to people talking. And I think that has always been an issue for me.
I didn't really get into them until this year because I was sort of the same way. I remember when I was reading the Shadow and Bone series, like the first time through, and I was like, didn't want to put them down. I was traveling. I was going to New Jersey to see them out.
Yeah, see, it's helpful when you're traveling.
I was making that 8-hour trip by myself.
Yeah.
So I had those, and I finished 2 of those books in like a weekend because of that. Because I had 8 hours of uninterrupted downtime to just listen to them the whole way through the drive. And I think that kind of got me like, oh, I enjoyed it. So
I don't know why I have a hard time being like, if I'm listening, listening to a book and considering it that I did the work to do it. And I don't know if that's because I have to work to make things, like I'm not enough. I must do more. Like if that's just in my brain, or it counts because you listen to a book. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole book. Yeah. I could have been reading it out loud as it is, but I got to fly on a plane and I got to, even then though, I did kind of sleep through some of it because I was like, we were on like a 24-hour
that
stretch.
Was a long flight.
It was when we were in the UK. Oh, do you like our sign? My mom got it for me. It's so funny. It's in there.
Welcome-ish.
It's so funny. You are more than welcome to our home. Ish.
And that one was funny too on the way, because on the way back when we got separated, just a little bit, like your seat was in front of mine. Anytime something big would happen at the party, you would like turn around and be like, oh, like, did you hear that? That was crazy.
So we're going to go through our list and feel free to write them down as you are interested in them. We are both on our Goodreads. If you're interested in seeing what our goals are or what we're reading, and if you've got a Goodreads account and you just want to be friends with it, follow us. Like, we enjoy knowing what everybody else is reading, so we'll put it on our list if you're reading something good. And I'll put that in the description. I'll just put our links if you don't mind.
No, go for it. Or if you guys have anything that you're like, this is the best book I've ever read, drop it in the comments, because I'm always looking for book recommendations.
Yes.
I'm not super picky about genre. I prefer fiction. But every once in a while I'll pick up like biographies or like autobiographies that people have done. Or comedy, but like comedians. I like their books. But most of the time I prefer my books to be fantastical.
Speaking of comments and things, when I was with my family this weekend, I was surprised, and I don't mean that in a weird way, but my shout out to my Aunt Sandra, who is actually following along on all this, and my hairdresser who's following us, and I just thought it was so cool, and I'm like, I didn't think anybody cared, and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. So thank you for following us and supporting us. It helps us get to where we want to be eventually, and getting our name out there, and this is just the beginning for us. We're small, slim pickings. I don't know what I was saying. Small
fish,
potatoes. Wow. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you because that's very exciting. I told Sandra, I was like, you what? You do? I was like, oh,
you follow.
Thank you. I was so excited. Okay, you want to start with your first one, or we go back and forth? I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
First and foremost, what I'm really trying to get through, my current reads: Empire Storms, Tower of Dawn. These are in the Throne of Glass series, books 6 and 7, and I am like 70% through
6 and 7 already?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
You've been through 1 through 5?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I like zoomed through them.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was 6 and 7 already.
Yeah, and that's
awesome.
So, and this is
clearly I haven't even started 1 yet. I'm like, what?
But these are a tandem read, so you can read them on their own. But
do you want to plug your TikTok? Because you have explained it.
Yeah, I do. I have a book talk on there where I kind of go through, like you see on my tabs in these, where it tells you when to switch back and forth between each chapter so everything lines up. Technically, you can read them in publication order, which would be this one first and then this one, but they're happening on the same timeline, and there's a big cliffhanger at the end of this one. So then you'd have to go back in time with this before you get to the final book, which I've heard a lot of stuff goes down in, so you don't want to wait. But according to my Goodreads,
I'm going to interrupt you. The more you talk about it, the more I was like before when I said I'm just going to read them how they were published and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then the more you talk, I'm like, maybe I should read them in a tandem way because I'm
and the thing is too, because I was like, oh, maybe it's not a big deal because I did that whole thing with Assassin's Blade where I'm like, what order? I honestly don't know if it would have mattered either way. I would have been like gutted by it. So, either way, but this one, there's actually things that the way the person who constructed the chapter list, like to go back and forth, something will happen in this book, and then it will line up in this chapter where it's like, that's hilarious. Like,
really?
It's like,
I like
connection. So,
yeah.
I think it's worth it. Also, it feels like it's flowed really easily. I don't feel like it's choppy where I'm like,
okay, good.
Oh, I gotta go to this book. No.
She seems to be a genius.
Yes. Correct. That is correct. Anyway, so my Goodreads says that I'm 70% through these, and then I am moving on to this behemoth.
This looks very autumny. I like how that looks.
Appropriate. We're gonna read this to round out November. But this is Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the Throne of Glass series. So
it's the final one.
It is the final one.
So what's the 15 that everyone's talking about?
There's 15 books in her universe.
Oh.
So you got ACOTAR.
So when you're done with this, where will you go next?
Crescent City.
Okay.
Which I'm not even attempting to put that on my TBR until 2024 because they are all this size. Like, they're huge. Huge. Anyway, so these are my non-Christmas reads that I'm trying to get through. So these, I'm putting them on this list because I'm not finished with them yet, but I would say tomorrow they'll be done because I have some uninterrupted time tomorrow. And then this one. If I could, my goal would be to start this maybe by this weekend. If I can have this book finished by December 1st, which
It's possible.
It's definitely possible.
You've done
Then
better.
I can move on to my Christmas reads, and that's what I'm really excited about. So, first one up on the list is called Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. Just cute little easy read. I've been seeing it all over Book Talk, but I'm pretty sure and it's by Jenny Bayless. She also does the 12 Dates of Christmas, which I saw on there as well, but when I went to get it, it was sold out on the site that I got them from, so I did not order it. I'm pretty sure this is the one where she is living in like London or something. A couple of my books are
Which I'm
UK based. She works at a secondhand London bookshop, and she has to go back to her posh private school for something, and she's meeting up with old friends, so it's gonna be just like a cute little romantic read. Love the cover. I think it's so cute. This one I was really excited about. I got it for $4 on the Book Outlet. Right now they are running a crazy sale on all of their fiction books they're like $5.99 or less. And I got this one for $4. It came in the mail today, so I was really excited about it. It's called All I Want for Christmas. She lives for holiday music, baking cookies, and going on snowy sleigh rides. It's just gonna be, again, basically Hallmark movies and books, but it's cozy, and that's what I want. And I will probably read this in about 30 seconds because it's 219 pages.
Yeah.
So that'll be a really quick one. This one I'm really excited for. It's Tessa Bailey's new Christmas book called Wreck the Halls. It just came out, I think, like the 10th or something. Like really recently it came out. She is the author who did It Happened One Summer and a lot of those other really cute romantic books. So this one I'm really excited about. I'm not sure which Christmas book I want to start with. I might save this one for closer to time. Love Light Farms is another one that I saw on Book Talk that I was really excited about. The synopsis for this one, yeah, it's very pretty. BK Borison. Basically, this is gonna have a lot of your fun fake dating tropes. I'm really excited about it.
Fake dating tropes.
Yeah, so the premise is that her family owns a Christmas tree farm, and it's going under. And in order to try to save it, she enters this contest, essentially stating like, "Oh, I run this farm, my Christmas tree farm, with my boyfriend. We're so in love," but she doesn't have a boyfriend. So she asks her best friend to pretend to be dating her and that they run this farm together. And so it just sounds like it's going to be really cute. So yes, that one. And it's actually part of a series, like the Love Light series. There's other stories in the series, but they're standalone
Love
books.
Light Blah.
Yeah,
Love
it's
Light
like
Blah.
they're in the same universe
Okay.
and just
I
different
like that stuff.
couples. Yeah. And then this one was the one that I got at McKay's when we were there. And again, it's set in London. Like she's just
Christmas in London.
Yeah, Christmas in London. And all of them are fairly short, easy reads.
Yeah.
And then the audiobooks, I have a couple that I'm reading one right now that's called Pumpkin Everything, which is actually, it got made into a Hallmark movie. And then there's another one that's specifically, like, it is about Thanksgiving, and it's like a 3-hour listen because it's a novella. So I'm like, oh, that'll be fun. And then actually Tessa Bailey has another one which I did not know this existed. I think I sent it to you on Amazon or something, where it's the Amazon Reader's Day thing, where it's like the first of the month, where you can go on and pick a free ebook.
Oh, okay.
And
it's
not this one, but it's one that she just released that is a New Year's Eve novella.
I love New Year's Eve stuff.
So I think I'm gonna try to read that one on New Year's Eve, because that last year on New Year's Eve, that's what we were doing. We were reading.
That's right.
And it was just so chill, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So
We should do that.
I would like to.
We'll get our last bits in.
Yeah, like we can like have dinner, maybe play some games or something,
Yeah.
and then like be reading. So I think that would be really fun. So I do technically have more than 10 to the end, but because there's also 2 here that we're gonna read together as well. But we will talk about those after you go.
Okay.
Over your list. So yeah.
My list, I think I have 3 left to get to my
Your
goal.
which was what?
37.
Okay.
So, because last year, because I had Goodreads, I introduced you to Goodreads.
Right.
So last year my goal was 36. Well, I got 36, or my last year was like 35. Well, I got 36. I'm like, maybe
Just
I can
up
do
it.
37.
Right.
So I'm just like trying to just beat my stuff
Right.
from before. So anyway, I don't have that many to do, and I'm almost done with one. And this is my bookmark, a pen. Sorry about it. I don't know if people get upset because I don't have like set bookmark. Brooke is like queen of bookmarks.
I love bookmarks.
But this is, okay, Julia Quinn did Bridgerton, and we've talked about Bridgerton over and over again. But this is the universe. I have went through most of her stuff. We've read them, I would say 80% we have done. We only have a couple series left, which are like a duology here and a trilogy here, and then we're just kind of done. Because this is the third one. Because you have not started this one.
Right?
This is the Bevelstoke series, which is, they mention the same, like in the world, they read these novels, and each time it's the same novel. So what is it, the Mad Baron and
something in the Mad Baron.
Something in the Mad Baron. But they're mentioned in like the Smythe Smith series, and anyway, and the Bevelstokes, Bridgerton. But they're all connected, and I love that so much. I love a good connection, and when it's the same world, like that's why I'm so excited when I'm like, it's all, like the Sarah J. Maas stuff is all the same, and I think that's, you can do so much with that. And I think what Julia Quinn, her writing style is what I really enjoy. Like Brooke is really into the fantasy stuff, and I'll enjoy it. That's fine, because I have FOMO and I don't want to miss out. I want to know what everyone's talking about. But I can go through these like crazy, and they're not very.
Yeah. They're
not
super
very
easy.
They're really easy.
Her writing style is great.
And it's funny. This one, okay, so in this Bevelstoke series, this is the third one. Like, the first one was fine. You know, you always have to get, like, in the zone with everybody. But then the second one was hilarious. And then the third one is like, oh! Like, I was so excited. I'm like, Sebastian, I love him. So anyway, this is, like, the 1990s cover. But I don't even care. It was at McKay's, and I got it for, like, $2 now.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So I'm like, I need all the things. So anyway, this... if you're interested in any of the Bridgerton, if you've read Bridgerton, you're like, should I keep going? I would encourage you to do so, yes. You know, A plus B equals C, that's what's happening. They're going to get together at the end, you just don't know how, and it's just funny how it goes. Comfort reads, and we need a lot of comfort, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm on. I'm almost done with it, so this is where my pen is, so I only have that much left. So then I'm also going through Battlefield of the Mind. We're going to get serious with the Lord. Because this is from, not Battlefield of the Mind, Joyce Meyer does like the big thick, like Battlefield of the Mind, Battlefield of the Blood. I've never really gotten into that. But this, I wanted to read the Bible. I wanted to read Psalms and Proverbs specifically. And this, a friend of mine had gotten for me a few years ago, and I just never went through it. And I'm like, now's the time. And it's crazy because it's going through Psalms. I'm in like Psalm 96, whatever, Psalm 97. And how relevant it is where the Lord will meet you where you're at is being in a state of thankfulness. We're always told renewing of the mind. What does that look like? And sometimes it's finding things to be thankful for. Because I can sit in my lack. Like I'm really good at being like, I don't have, or I'm comparing, blah, blah, blah. But what does it look like when you're actually thankful for something? And the last week I had been adamant about, oh, I need to pick through things that I'm thankful for, because that was like a challenge in part of this. And it was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, and I'm trying to find something to be thankful for. Where this morning it was like, before I even got like my foot on the ground, I was like, I'm thankful for blah, blah, blah. 3 things. And I was like, oh, it just came naturally. So I'm like, renewing of the mind, it's happening naturally, and I'm not having to force it. But it's like, well, not to get in too deep, we can talk about it later. We have a podcast coming.
Yeah.
But you know, when you do something for so long, and the divots in your brain, I don't know if you know this, but they create pathways in your brain, and that's how you just know that's what I do, and blah, blah. And that's not, yeah. And so, like, I think my pathways are starting to fix themselves, which is nice. It's not like negative Nancy all the time. I'm like, what am I thankful for? That was so cool this morning. I was like, that was quick, you know. So Battlefield of Mind, Psalm and Proverbs specifically. This was a nice little leather-bound edition that my friend Tawny gave me like 5 years ago, but I'm finally on it. Thank you, Tawny. I don't know. She's got married, I think. It's so nice. So I'm gonna go through this. This is I like nonfiction, but also like storytelling. But I really enjoy reading. I get a lot of it. I get a lot out of reading about God specifically, and about how you can focus your relationship on certain ways when people have experienced things and they write them down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love knowing that. That's with biographies, autobiographies. That's with people and their experiences with their walks with the Lord. I mean, that's important to me. So I had started this year, and I had started reading it with a bunch of other things, and it got away from me. So I'm almost done with this anyway. This, if you get on my Goodreads, if you click on that and you're like, what's Samantha reading? I've been reading this for months. So it's just part of it. It's very deep. It's Chuck Pierce. I don't know if you know anything about him, but The Worship Warrior. It's not just about like, oh, the music and the blah. It's like, how do we worship every day with mind, body, and soul? What does that look like in the application and the relationship with the Lord that you have, and what that can look like? Basically how to do war with the Lord, partnering with God. Because the byline there says how your prayer and worship can protect your home and community. I think that's crazy. But it is. That's what it's about. So it's helping you do those things. I just want to finish my books that I started. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is me. I'm not going to apologize. Okay, so this one is Spiritled Evangelism. And when Brooke and I have talked about like what it looks like to be responsible and telling people about Jesus and blah, 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 sometimes it puts like, it's like puke in my mouth. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to force something if they're not supposed to. If we're not supposed to say something, I don't want to say it because it could ruin something that God's already trying to build. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is by Shayon, is how you say his name. And Spirit-led, it's like asking the Lord. You see someone and your heart's pounding and you're like, oh, should I say something? I don't know what it is. Asking God specifically what he has for them, not just, well, I'm going to tell them that Jesus died for them on the cross and then they're going to go to hell if they don't. I just don't find that effective. So this is like helping you understand, like hearing from God, acting upon it appropriately, correctly. He's not going to get it right every time, but this is just reaching the lost through power and love. And I think that's important rather than just, I should be telling them about Jesus and this, and you know, it turns people off, especially nowadays. You got to be a little more sensitive. So it's important. This one, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, is another one that I had started. And this one talks about, like, if you know people who are a little crazy, but you know that they talk about Jesus and they love Jesus, but you're like, you don't look like you do. That, I think about that when I read this book, because sometimes being emotionally mature makes a difference with, you know, right? Yeah. Being emotionally mature makes a difference with how you, I don't know, leak Jesus. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like how you present yourself, and sometimes it's I don't think that guy follows the Lord at all. Why would I want to be like that? But it's because they need emotional health. Right. They need, like, mental health is kind of messed up. And anyway, this is kind of checking up on that. And I appreciated the start of this, because I didn't get through it. I got distracted. But this is by Peter Scazzaro. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but my friend Michael had told me about it, and so I got it. And it's impossible to be spiritually mature while remaining emotionally immature. So it's just about knowing how to keep your mouth shut when you're supposed to. And
yeah, because I feel like when you're emotionally immature, your flesh is running the show.
Yeah,
because you're a prisoner to your emotions when you're not emotionally mature.
Yes.
So yeah,
I think that for me, why it spoke out to me so much is because I'm a reactor to things. If she tells me something somebody has done, and I'm like, "What? Are we gonna beat them up? Like, why would they say that?" Ah! I'm like freaking out more than she would if she knows the situation better. I'm like, And I think that's not always good. I think she's a safe place to do that because she's my best friend. But if I were to do that and someone else is telling me something and they're like, "Whoa, that's not," then you know how and when to put your emotions where and when to say what you're supposed to. And there are people in my life that I watch that I know love the Lord, but I know that this is a struggle for them, and so sometimes it's hard to take them seriously with their stuff. So anyway, this is for personal stuff. This is not for me to, I'm going to read this and then tell this person how they suck, and this is how they should change. That's not what this is. That's not what it's about for me. So anyway, good read if you're interested in something like that, especially if you're like a Christian therapist or Christian therapist, or even like a pastor or something, like you're counseling people. If you're into counseling and you love the Lord, I would encourage that. This one is how many am I on? Well, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I just realized, I'm like, good Lord.
It's easy to talk about books like this. Don't apologize. It's my thing.
I just hope you are okay with me talking about.
No, I'm not.
I want to talk about Sarah J. Maas. I'm sorry. Talk about it.
These are important things to talk about. Sarah J. Maas is just for fun.
The thing is, you find the application in there, and for me, I that's hard for me sometimes.
Right.
So our brains are working differently.
But it's so cool,
beautiful.
Like meeting in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is another Jesus read. Sorry. No apologizing. 50 Days for a Firm Foundation. I just found this. So Brooke and I read the final quest together this year, and it took like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But this is the same guy, Rick Joyner. Some people really appreciate, the things that the Lord gives him, and he's just like, I'm just a messenger. I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
Freely given, freely given.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book a long time ago called 50 Days for a Firm Foundation, and this is just literally a devotional that I thought I would start 50 days, which was like a couple days ago. So I had 49 days left in the year, so I started it. But anyway, I'll be done January 1st, which is awesome. This is just literally going through the Bible, different parts of the Bible, in sections, and being like, this is how you can pull this from here, and it's why it matters with your relationship with God. Like, okay, obviously Genesis is about the foundation of the earth, like the first 6 days of the earth ever being created, and that's important for me as a human being who has been made. But then it goes on to be like, now why is Noah's story important for my foundation? Why is it in the Bible? That sort of thing. So it's going through just in 50 days. It's not that serious. It's not like 300 every day for the year, blah, blah, blah. Get into the nitty gritty of the important things. I thought it was interesting. The first day was already great. So I started that for the end of the year. Okay. I've got 2 more that I haven't started, and then we can talk about our ones we're doing together. So Brooke got me this for Christmas last year, and I love Richard Ayoade. If you ever watch any UK TV, he's probably on it. He was on the IT
Crowd, right?
IT Crowd, yes, because I was like the IT Crowd, but it's the IT Crowd, and he plays a guy who is in the IT department at a big corporation, and it's just like so funny. The end of the year trivia show that Jimmy Carr hosts, and he always has but he's on there quite a bit with my other buddy Noel Fielding. I love him so much. But anyway, this is just a little blurb that he wrote, and it's really, it already looks really funny. A cinematic odyssey. So I'm looking forward to reading that.
He's very witty, so I'm sure it's
so
hilarious.
Funny. Yeah. So funny. Okay, so I'm excited about that one. I have not started this. This one is also something I have not started. I feel like in this time of my life, it is easy for me to not be motivated or give up on a lot of things. I'm in my 30s. It feels like I'm a little behind on some things. I just looked at this book on my shelf, and I thought, if I put anything on my list, I should put this on here. It is called I Do Hard Things, and a Bible study to break free of fear and pain. I've been trying to be disciplined in multiple things here recently: mind, body, and soul. Making sure I read Psalms and Proverbs every day. Making sure that I at least do a mile at the gym, or doing something that is good for me. And sometimes that's hard because we've dealt with depression, we've dealt with anxiety about things, and just doing them because I know I can, and not just putting this wall up thinking that I can't do certain things. I hope I'm making sense. But I haven't gone through this yet, but I know that I like Havila Cunnington. I've only watched her online. This is like an actual kind of workbook to go through, and I wanted to put that on my list. At least if it doesn't start, it'll be after, I would say probably the 50 days, because that's like a devotion. I want this to be intentional also.
And then the 2 books that we're going to do together for the end of the year are going to be a couple holiday reads. So we picked up a copy of A Christmas Carol at one of our local used bookstores. They have a lot, pretty much any genre that you can think of, they will have it there. So they have like a whole classics section too. Any of the, they had a lot of the Jane Austen stuff there. Even they had Mary Shelley, Frankenstein, things like that. But I had actually never read this.
Same.
And that felt odd to say. I was like, I have never read A Christmas Carol. How many retellings have you watched of this?
Even plays,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah,
that's crazy, and I've never read the original source material. So we each got a copy, like the exact same copy.
We got 2.
So we are going to read this together, probably
Close to Christmas.
Yeah, if not Christmas Eve, then
yeah,
that
would be a good
a good Christmas Eve read. 122 pages. I'm saying.
Yeah,
we'll knock that in an hour probably. You know what I mean? So that I'm looking forward to. We're trying to, so within this next year, when we're making our lists for 2024, we are trying to go through and add in classics that I'm like, why haven't I not read that? Like, I've heard about it my entire life, but it's ridiculous that I haven't read this yet. So
we should do a video on that.
Yeah, we'll do a video, another Book Nook video about the classics that we're looking into reading. Which, this next one that we are going to do together is one of those books. So we each got a copy of Little Women to do. I know it's not technically a Christmas book, but a lot of the events that happen in it are surrounding Christmas.
Yes.
So it is sort of that Christmassy holiday feel to it. I love this story.
Show me cover. I like mine is really cute. Little girls are on there, and then hers
just has
Meg and Joe and Beth and Amy. It's good.
Yeah, it's super cute. I love really interesting covers like this. They had, so we got these at Books A Million, and they had really cute covers of Emma and what was the other one that had? Was it Northanger Abbey?
I think so. The blue and white one.
Yes,
Yeah.
like just so cute, and the pages were like that thick, like parchment, and it was kind of frayed on the edges. So I'll probably be making a visit to get those when we go to read all of those. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I know the story front and back, but I've never picked up a physical copy of this and read it. So
I think even the movie itself with Winona Ryder and Kirsten Dunst, it's one of those that kind of imprinted in your brain, because I would watch it all the time. If we were going through the channels and we were growing up and then it was on, I would watch the rest of it. I don't care wherever it was, we'd finish it up. It's a staple in our childhood. I think it's like watching Casper or watching A Little Princess, which we should read.
We're gonna read that. Yeah. Do you guys have favorite classics that you think we should read? Put those in the comments. Because right now we're
thinking about Lord of the Flies.
And we have copies of that.
We do. We're gonna do that for
provided with that. So
we're gonna take another trip to McKay's, but not Nashville necessarily. We're gonna
check
go
out different versions of it. What was the one? Winston-Salem, right?
Winston-Salem is the closest.
Honestly, I would love to just do like a bookstore tour of the United States and go to like the craziest bookstores. Yeah. There's one that's, I think it's in Oregon, that's like insane. I made a TikTok video about McKay's, and this girl commented on it and was like, I've always wanted to go there. I'm so jealous. She's like, but I live like 5 minutes from this one. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, like that place is insane.
That's cool.
Like, so that would be cool. And we also live really not far at all from the Book Loft in Columbus, Ohio, which that place is amazing. We'll make a visit up there. We'll try to get some footage of that place so you can see it. If you are in the area up there, it's in German Village, you should check it out. It's so cute. And it's like an old house that they've gutted and made into a store, and every room
it's got levels.
Floors of books. And each room that you go into is sort of themed differently, so the music changes as you go throughout the store. So, you know...
I didn't realize that.
The music changes.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
I'm
really
going to listen
cool.
to it.
And then when you're there in the spring and summer, they have like an outdoor patio garden where they'll have books out there, and then they've got that big fountain that goes off. And there's a really cute coffee shop, literally like steps from their front door. But yeah, that is our 10-ish to the end. You know, tentatively, I would love to get all of these in. Don't know if it will 100% happen, but I'm going to do my best. I want to at least hit my 40, which I technically don't need 10 to reach my 40.
Maybe next year I will try for 40. Depending on how many I do, I'll probably just like round it off and do 40.
I was trying to decide what I want to do. You know, should I do 40 again or bump it to like 45?
Does it make you feel like you're working towards a better goal if you up it
up a little
or
bit?
You're like, okay, I need to get 40 in like I tried last year?
Well, and because last year I didn't start my Goodreads until like halfway through the year.
Right. So I just mean like this year.
Yeah, so I didn't have a specific goal set. Someone calling you? Spam.
Spam telemarket. That's what it says.
I didn't have a goal set, so I was just kind of. But the thing is, in that half a year, we read Lord knows how many books. Because it was when we went through all the Bridgerton stuff like crazy. So yeah, and then I think it was New Year's Eve when I was reading. I'm like, let's set what's our goal for next year, and I was just like 40, thinking I can do that. And which I can, but you don't realize sometimes where you're just gonna go through weeks where you're like, I don't want to pick up anything. You know, like I just
TikTok is there.
Yeah, I'm tired.
TV.
Right. So, however,
we watched all of Game of Thrones this year.
We did.
And we started Vikings, which we can talk about later.
Yes, so good. But we were just recently talking about how we might cancel all of our subscription services, like streaming services, and just read. Yeah. It's more sometimes it's more entertaining to me. My brain feels more challenged because I'm basically creating the movie as I'm reading, so that I like doing that. But sometimes you just need to like zone out and
work
watch
so
New
hard.
Girl. You know what I mean?
Yes. New Girl's also been
right. With the price of everything, you can save some money. Just buy books.
Yeah. Put all your Netflix money into books.
Netflix. So mad at it. But yeah, so that is our 10 to the end. We will keep an eye out for your guys' recommendations and comments. If you have any questions about any of the books that we posted, like questions about titles or authors, if you're trying to look them up, just let us know. If you guys have if you want recommendations for us, you know, tell us what you like in the comments, and we can try to recommend things that we've personally read or things that we're super excited to read that fit the descriptions of what you're looking for. But yeah, we hope you continue to follow along with our reading journey, because I don't predict it stopping anytime soon. I'm really enjoying myself. And definitely stay tuned for our podcast. Thanks to her brother, he came over and got all of our stuff set up, so we are fully functional, and we'll be releasing that like December, you think?
Yeah.
We want to have some episodes ready to go for December, so keep an eye out for...
Also... Oh no!
Whoa,
We've been blocked this whole time!
Oh.
So, we're also continuing with our supernatural trim. We did get a comment that was like, you're reviewing, you're not reacting. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm sorry.
So we are reviewing each episode and talking about it that way. So we will continue doing that also. And good job, Katie. Come on back with the supernatural game, because she was scared the first time she tried to watch it with Brooke. And she was like, I can't do it. So she can do it.
Those will be sporadic. So just kind of listen in for when we say we're dropping
Yeah,
this.
I think next week though we will have one.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it and put it.
Gotta stay on top of them because there's 15 seasons.
I don't know if we talked about it, but by the time October 31st of next year comes out, season 1 will be just ending at the perfect time. So then we can start season 2. But I'm like, that's a whole year.
Just Supernatural.
Season 1. I don't know, but like you said, we did talk about it because we said if there was specific episodes
Yes.
or specific episodes of other shows that you're like, hey, can you watch this and review what you think about that? Then we would do that. But I was like, this is gonna take a whole year to do this first season.
We will be 55 by the time it's over.
At least 15 years older. Yes. Wait. Oh no. 50.
50 years old.
Okay.
That sounds
Horrific.
horrific. That was the exact word I was going to use. Oh my gosh.
But anyway, that's what's going on around the corner.
Yeah.
Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. Did you watch the Today Show growing up? When you're getting ready for school?
Not usually. No, remember I said we always watched Big Mama's House?
In the morning, that's right.
Oh, wait, no, not Big Mama's House. Just
Mama's house.
Yeah.
Big Mama's.
Or no, Mama's Family.
Yeah.
Not
Say
Mama's
that whole
House.
statement again. No, because.
You no, because we no, we did not watch.
That's right, because you were watching You were watching Mama's Family.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll cut that. Oh, Al Roker would say, here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. So
Gotcha.
And then it would go to Kurt Greenfield. Kurt Greenfield, if you don't know, he's a local weatherman around here, and I have seen him twice in public, and it's always at the Sheets down the street, okay? And the one time he was picking up a pocket full of pennies. I was like, why do you have so many pennies in your pocket, Kurt Greenfield? I helped him pick up a few. He's like, oh my, like he's so out of his pockets were out of his pants. His shirt was half untucked in his tie. I'm like, something's gone on with this man. I hope you're not watching this. I feel bad.
I hope you're not watching.
All right, well, like and subscribe. Click the
Yeah.
bell. Get notified.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the people who are watching. That's so exciting. Thank you. This feels really
We
nice.
made it to 40 subscribers.
Ah! I was going to say it. I'm like, I don't want to put myself on blast. We only have 40 people. But I'm glad you did because
Yeah.
we should be thankful.
We're proud of that 40.
Yeah, we're out of the 30s, buddy. I don't know who that 40 was, but we appreciate
Yeah,
you.
we do.
So, yeah, subscribe, like, look for the podcast, Supernatural, and more book things.
More book things.
All right, bye.
Bye.